Run! The kidnappers are here!
I could hear the screams before I even saw them. High-pitched, desperate, the kind of screams that no child should ever have to make. I was just coming back from the market when the chaos hit. The sun was setting, casting long shadows over the dirt roads, when I noticed the first sign: people running. Parents, old men, women, everyone was sprinting towards the center of the village. I felt a chill down my spine. Something was wrong. And then I saw it. A group of armed men, their faces covered with masks, storming into the village square. My heart raced. The worst part. They weren't just after gold, livestock, or money. No, these men had one thing in mind: our children. They were quick. Too quick. No one saw them coming. They moved in like shadows, snatching kids off the street, pulling them away before anyone could even react. It was like they knew exactly where to strike. I could see the terror in the parents' eyes as they tried to chase after them. But the kidnappers were already on their motorcycles, speeding away, disappearing into the bush. Just like that. Gone. I rushed to my younger sister, Miriam, grabbing her hand and pulling her close. She was crying, trembling like a leaf in the wind. The whole village was in shock, frozen in fear. This wasn't supposed to happen here, not in our peaceful village. As I looked around, I noticed something. A group of 5 children had been taken, but there was one kid, a boy, still running. He was small, too small to escape them. But he was fast, darting between houses and through the narrow alleyways, weaving through the trees. Something about the way he ran sent a shiver through me. I turned to a nearby elder, asking, "Who is that boy?" "His name is Chaik," the elder replied. "He's the son of the headman." "Why do you ask?" The boy was running toward the edge of the village, but he was slowing down. The kidnappers were coming back. I could hear the low rumble of the engines in the distance. My stomach twisted. Without thinking, I grabbed Miriam by the arm and ran towards Chaik, shouting his name. But he didn't hear me. He kept running, his feet pounding the earth, too focused on the road ahead. I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew I couldn't let him be taken. I reached him just as he stumbled, his foot catching on a rock. I pulled him up, and in that moment, I heard it. The sound of motorcycles. Louder now. Closer. Run. I shouted, dragging him with me. We have to get to the bush before they see us. We were almost at the edge of the village when the first motorcycle appeared. My heart dropped into my stomach. There were 2 men on it, speeding straight toward us. "Chaik!" I cried. "This way!" I veered off the main path, pulling him into a thicket of trees. We were crouched low, barely breathing, praying they wouldn't see us. The motorcycles whizzed by, their tires kicking up dust. My hands were shaking, my heart hammering in my chest. Then, just when I thought we were safe, I saw them. 2 more figures appeared from behind the trees. They were carrying something, 2 of the children. I recognized one of them immediately. It was Miriam's best friend, Ifioma. She was crying, her small body limp in the arms of one of the kidnappers. My sister's screams pierced through the stillness of the night. I pulled Chaik further into the bush, covering his mouth. His eyes were wide, full of fear, and I knew we couldn't stay here. They would find us soon. But what could we do? I wasn't about to let them take Miriam. "Stay here," I whispered to Chaik, pointing for him to hide. He nodded, but I could tell he was scared. I could hear the men talking in low voices, their footsteps crunching on the dry leaves. I needed a plan, fast. That's when it hit me. If I couldn't save them all, I could at least save Miriam. The headman's son had to be their leader. If I could get to him, I could force them to release the children. I crept towards the voices. My fingers gripped a broken branch, my body tense as I approached. They were still talking, laughing now. I couldn't make out all the words, but it didn't matter. I needed to act fast. I rushed toward the men, shouting as loudly as I could. "Let them go." The men turned in surprise. One of them reached for his gun, but I was already charging at him. I had no time to think, no time to hesitate. The gun went off. My chest exploded with pain. I fell to the ground, gasping for air. Blood was soaking through my shirt, but I couldn't stop. Not now. Not when Miriam's life was at stake. The men ran toward me, their voices booming. But before they could reach me, something incredible happened. Chike appeared, holding a machete in his hand. He was no longer the scared boy I had pulled through the trees. He was different, strong, determined, ready to fight. With one swift movement, he swung the machete, knocking the gunman to the ground. I couldn't believe it. Chike had saved me. The other men hesitated, giving us just enough time to grab Ifeoma and run. We moved fast, stumbling through the trees, pushing through the pain. I could feel my strength fading, my vision blurring, but I couldn't stop. We made it to the village's edge when the sound of more motorcycles filled the air. But this time, we weren't alone. The villagers had heard the commotion and were coming to our aid. They were armed, tools, machetes, whatever they could find. The kidnappers had underestimated us. The final showdown was about to begin. But before it did, I'll leave you with this: what happens when the real twist is revealed, and Chike isn't who we thought he was? And what if this entire kidnapping scheme was a lot more than just ransom? Want to know how it ends? Hit that like button, drop a comment, and don't forget to share this with your friends. Part 2's coming soon, and trust me, you won't want to miss it.